Hey you guys, welcome back to Lisa and Company. I'm Lisa and we do all kinds of budget-friendly DIY design and decor on my channel. Today I have something a little bit different and a little bit not and a little bit exciting, or I think so anyway. Today I have partnered up with Rose Forever New York. They reached out to me and asked me if I would give a review of their product on my YouTube channel. Well, you guys, oh my goodness. I chose the black velvet box with the ivory roses, and there are so many to choose from. Wait until you see them all. And I am so impressed with these roses. Not only do they look beautiful, oh my goodness, they smell like real roses. And the best part is they don't last a few days or maybe a week. They last forever. Today, using some of my favorite DIY supplies, I'm going to be giving these a farmhouse makeover 2 different ways. We are going to be using all kinds of ribbon, almost all Dollar Tree supplies, and wait until you see what we've come up with. We're also going to use a couple of items from my stash and do a couple of trash to treasure makeovers on those. To get started today, I am going to be painting all of these things in my homemade white chalk paint. I have this old silver tray, and before anyone gets upset, it is in really bad condition, heavily pitted and not in great shape. I have a plate I picked up at the restore that, my apologies, I forgot to take a before picture of, and this plaque that I picked up at one of my local thrift stores. I really wish you guys had had a chance to see what this plate looked like before. Multiple shades of muddy brown, 70s spectacular. I have wanted to paint one of these trays for so long, but I kept waiting until I found one that was in poor condition, something that couldn't be polished or fixed up. So what I am doing with this one today is applying a coat all over of the homemade chalk paint. This is actually a color called chalk. How ironic is that? And then I'm going to give it a wipe down. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want to pull out all of those amazing details all over this tray. Now I'm using a diaper wipe to wipe it off, and in places where I wiped off a little bit too much, I'm going to go back and add a little bit more paint. For this guy, it's going to be a riser for that beautiful box of roses, and I found these at my local restore way back when things were still open here in Ontario. I cut off the little parts, and I'm going to use my E6000 and some hot glue to attach them and then add some paint to those. Remember, when you're using a combination of the E6000 and the hot glue so you get the short-term, long-term hold, do not mix your glues. It will not give you the same hold. What I've done is I've put the E6000 right in the center and just a little bit of hot glue around the outside. And again, not too much because you don't want it to seep out and have all of that stuff that you have to pick off and clean up afterwards. I just love the way the details on this tray stick out, and I love the way this riser came together. It is going to be perfect for so many things. Now, mamas, it's a little late to order this for yourself for Mother's Day, or maybe another mama or woman that you love. But you know what? You should totally treat yourself. I absolutely love my roses. I keep them on my vanity. I have great intentions to move them all over the house, but so far they've stayed in that one place. So make sure you click on the link down below, check out the shop, and if you use the coupon code Lisa and Company 15, you'll get $15 off anything in the shop. So make sure you hit that description box and check it out. Now, when I first saw this plate in all its brown glory in the restore, I instantly saw a sign, and I've been holding on to this for so long, waiting to do it. Now, I did give it a coat of my Kills spray primer, and then I gave it 2 coats of the homemade chalk paint. I'm going to be using this decal that I cut out on my Cricut, and yes, you guys, if you don't know me well enough by now, you've got to know that my life is all about coffee. Well, maybe my kids and my pets, but definitely a lot of coffee. And when I saw this actually on a billboard in town, I was like, oh yeah, snapped a picture of it. I have to have that sign somewhere in my house. I think this sign is going to be the perfect cheeky addition to either my coffee bar or maybe the studio. I'm not sure yet, but it's definitely going to be somewhere where I can see it all the time. I do want to share one more little tidbit about this company. I love the idea of a company that really cares about the people that they work with. And you all know that my mom and I have been going through a little bit of something with her health recently. And I had to delay this collaboration quite a while. And you know what? They were amazing. Not only were they fine with how far I had to push this back, but they offered the most kind words for what we were going through. Alrighty, makeover number 1 is truly a farmhouse vibe. So I gathered a whole bunch of ribbon from my stash, and wait until you see how easy it is to give this a little farmhouse makeover. When I was trying to figure out how to attach the ribbon without damaging the box, I looked at one of my spools of ribbon and realized that I use a pin to keep it closed. And you know what? That is exactly how we are going to treat the ribbon on this box. I am going to wrap a piece of my favorite black and white buffalo plaid ribbon all the way around, and then using all of these other ones, I am going to create a really beautiful farmhouse messy bow with all these black and white ribbons and a little bit of burlap just to farmhouse it up. Once I had my messy bow all put together, tied in the middle, I simply tied it to the middle of my black and white ribbon and then wrapped it around that beautiful velvet box and pinned it at the back. And isn't that pretty? I think it really highlights these beautiful roses, and I love the idea that I will be able to change it out whenever I want. Speaking of changing it out, you know I wasn't going to just do this one way, so let's do it one more time. You guys, don't forget to check out the description box below where I will put the link to this amazing shop and these beautiful roses. And don't forget to use the coupon code Lisa & Company 15 to save $15 on your purchase. Some days I feel like buffalo plaid should be in the name of this channel. So for this one, I am using my gray and white buffalo plaid and this really pretty welcome home ribbon from Dollar Tree. We're going to do the same thing by wrapping it around, but you may have noticed I've cut a really long piece. Well, what I'm going to do is pleat this on both sides. So essentially, I found the middle of it and I'm pleating backwards. Then I'm going to flip it over and do it the same way for the other side. This creates a beautiful dimensional piece right across the front of the box. I did add a few dabs of hot glue just to make sure those pleats held in place. Then I cut a piece of the welcome home ribbon and making sure that I centered the word home right over the center of those pleats, this project was almost finished. Wrap it around, pin it at the back, and yeah, we're done. I love pretty much anything pleated. It has to have something to do with all those years of sewing clothes when way back my mom taught me how to sew. Now, this wouldn't be a complete vignette without, you guessed it, a garland. I have this really pretty crochet cotton that I picked up from a thrift store, and I'm going to use that to create a couple of tassels and thread my pearl beads on. I thought the pearl beads would be so pretty with this little vignette that we were creating. Except my Dollar Tree beads had a whole different idea. There was no holes in them. Fortunately, I have a rather large stash and I had these other pearl beads that I was able to use. They are actually two shades of cream and a really beautiful pewter gray, and I worked really hard so that there was no pattern here. I wanted it to look as random as possible. I love those really pretty white tassels attached to the end, and I think it's perfect with the way this vignette is coming together. I feel like this came together a little bit classy roses, a little bit farmhouse, and a little bit of sarcasm, which is totally my style. Throw in a little trash to treasure with new products, and I love this DIY. You guys, I hope you enjoyed my take on how you can turn these beautiful velvet boxes into something a little bit more farmhouse. I love the idea that I can change this out throughout the seasons. I can't wait to do it for summer. I'm thinking fall, the sky's the limit, and hello, can you imagine how pretty these are gonna look at Christmas? Stay tuned and maybe we'll do some more videos throughout the year. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, and please, I would so appreciate it if you would head down to the description box and hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you know every time we upload a video. Don't forget to join us over on social media, and you guys, we'll see you in the next video.